Welcome back to Detroit. Pissing me off today on the show. We're going to go through the first 5 games, some of the statistics that the Pistons are exhibiting, and what they can improve on as the season progresses and as they try to make a run at the play-in tournament this year, as that narrative seems to be dwindling in the hearts and minds of Piston fans. But let's not lose hope just yet. There is a chance. The last game against the Hawks showed a little bit of that, as we had the two-man game of Bogdanovic and Cade Cunningham getting together to score combined 60-ish points. Very nice between the two of them the other night. But looking at the team defense, team offense, the scoring margins, we're definitely in a world of hurt in many of the team's statistical categories that we must improve on. And we've also done better than I've initially thought we would in some categories. So where can we improve? And let's get into it. So, Piston fans, do me a solid. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. The first statistic I want to take a look at is the total team rebounds per game. Where do the Pistons match up? And they're actually doing much better than I anticipated they would. They are 13th right now in the NBA at 55.4 rebounds per contest. And I know the stat isn't always the most important barometer. They have been dominated inside at times. But anyways, they rank 13th, so they're in the middle of the pack in the rebounding. Not doing too bad. Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart have been their top rebounders as of yet, and they've had decent rebounding with Cade Cunningham. NBA team opponents per game. Where do the Pistons rank? Well, that is where things get a little dicey. They are ranked 26th overall. They are allowing a devastating 120.2 points per contest. This is not going to get the job done. Their team defense must improve fivefold for the Pistons to start to compete and actually win a few games here. The offense has their moments, but they are not able to keep up with 120 points per contest. I mean, they're going to have to get that number down to about 107, 108. If you look at the top squad right now, it's Milwaukee, only allowing 97 points per game. Now, that's not going to be something the Pistons will be able to do this year. If the Pistons ever want to get back to the Detroit Bad Boys type of style of play, this is where they need to really focus on. I know getting back Nerlens Noel will help slightly. Marvin Bagley, probably negative in terms of defensively when he returns. The next statistical category, team points per game. So where do the Pistons rank in that? They are 23rd overall. So they are in the bottom half in both scoring and defense. So that's going to be an issue. The Pistons are only scoring 109 points per contest, which in itself would be okay if they were allowing about 105 to 110 points a game. Then they would be doing all right, but they're not. The next statistical category we're going to talk about is the NBA team average scoring margin. The Detroit Pistons are dead last in this category. The Pistons are being outscored by an average of 11 points per contest right now. That simply is not going to cut it whatsoever. This is Detroit pissing me off, and this is one of the things that drives me nuts when we're dead last in a statistical category that really matters, and that's we're getting defeated by 11 points per contest. We're dead last, and at this point, Wembanyama is on our radar, which he shouldn't be. I feel potentially, talent-wise, we should be in that position where we are making a move to get to the play-in tournament. Now, I know we're a young ball club. We have a lot of learning together and development that needs to happen, but I do not want the Pistons to have Wembanyama. I think it would be better off for us to just get better, even if we missed a play-in tournament and win about 33 games. That's better than winning 20 games and getting Wembanyama, in my humble opinion. Sure, hell, I would love to have Wembanyama, but if we only win 20 games and we're in that conversation Wembanyama, there's a lot of other issues that we have that just Wembanyama will not correct it by itself. Now, don't get me wrong, he would be a nice addition, or Scoot Henderson, or the Thompson twins. The draft class is stacked, and if we get a top 10 pick, I think we can get someone that's going to be very important to and helpful to our franchise. Hopefully we bring in someone that can defend and shoot the three. Moving on. The assist to turnover ratio. The Pistons have actually done a little bit better in this regard than I initially expected after watching the preseason, as the Detroit Pistons are ranked 18th. Close to the middle of the pack there in the assist to turnover ratio, something they can definitely improve on. Another thing, 3-point percentage. Now, team shooting percentage overall, the Pistons are once again at the bottom of the barrel at 27, shooting 42.4% overall from the field. The Pistons are shooting much better at home, 44%, as opposed to the 41% on the road. Also, the Pistons shot 43% last season, so they're actually down a little bit in terms of shooting percentage, and I expect it to go up a little bit as Saddiq Bey and Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes start to adjust their percentages. Right now, they are insanely low. The Pistons are actually solid in the three-point shooting department this year, much better than previous years. They are shooting 35.8%, pretty nice. They're shooting a solid 40% at home, as opposed to a putrid 32.6% that they had last season, which was right around dead last, if not dead last, in the NBA. Pistons are shooting 40% at home right now from three-point land, playing much better on the offensive end at home than they have on the road. However, defensively, still been putrid at home. So, let's get that taken care of, Casey. Come on. Now we've gone over some of the statistics here. We've had some problems with lineups. Now that we have Isaiah Livers back, I think it's going to be a very nice, helpful addition to our bench. Now, I do feel that he could possibly come in there as a starter at some point. The starting lineup may have to be adjusted if Bogdanovic and Saddiq Bey are not able to play together as well as we would like on the defensive end. There may be a have to move where I'd see Saddiq Bey coming off the bench. But that may be a few weeks away when we get back more of our interior players, such as Marvin Bagley and Nerlens Noel. Opponent shooting percentage, Detroit Pistons are ranked 28 out of 30th in that department, allowing 49.1% from the field. The only teams worse than that have been Dallas and San Antonio. And that hasn't mattered if it's been on the road or at home. They've allowed 49.2% at home and 49.1% on the road. So either way, the defense, either home or away, the defense has to play much better if the Pistons are going to start to be competitive and make their way to the play-in tournament this year. And I'm going to keep that hope alive for at least 30 games. You know, unless we're 1 in 15. We have a very tough schedule this year, especially in the early going. It's going to be tough for us to climb out of the hole if we continue to go in that direction. And with Atlanta coming up again on Friday night, and then a few games with Milwaukee, 2 games with Milwaukee, and a game with Cleveland, things are not going to get easier when it comes to the Pistons schedule. So let's keep our fingers crossed for a little bit of a correction change for the rest of the season. But at this point, the Pistons are in a world of hurt. Not a complete surprise for many of us. We had reasons for optimism. It just hasn't panned out the way we would have liked at this point through 5 games against subpar ball clubs, losing to Indiana, New York, Washington. It hasn't been pretty. So what did the Pistons need to do against the Atlanta Hawks? Simply put, they need to play like they did offensively against the Hawks last time. Cade Cunningham must continue to be aggressive. They need to expand the role for Isaiah Livers. Kojo, which I think's played well, got way too many minutes last game. I think they need to ride or die with Killian Hayes a little bit more. Give him the opportunity to sink or swim. I think he will rise to the occasion if given the opportunities. He's had a putrid start, but I think that he will only go up from here. So, Piston fans, I'll see you next time on Detroit Piston Me Off.